going to share with you something that I've learned, particularly in the last year. And that is that life is much better in the right lane. It might be a season of life thing for me, but life is better in the right lane. Meaning, it's better if you slow down. You observe the processes that have been put in place and you follow along. I would say the right lane is going to be your resting state. It's designed to be where you spend most of your time. In the right lane, when you're following the process, or if you're on the road, you have a speed limit. The speed limit's been designed to keep the motoring public safe. It allows for space. For instance, when you're in a construction zone, you may have tighter spaces, and you also, more importantly, you have human beings working in these places, right? But taking construction zones out of it, the speed limit is designed to keep you safe and efficiently getting to where you need to go. That's why it's got two words: speed, which is the velocity at which you travel, and then limit. Limit, if you were to look it up in the dictionary, which I've not done, I would imagine it has something to do with the maximum capacity with which you are allowed to operate. And I reflected on this when I was pulled over last year for going 78 in a 70 mile an hour zone. Now the zone was a work zone. It was right by my house. Interesting thing about this work zone is that normally when I see construction zones, it is a lower speed than what it normally is in that same geographical location. But in this instance, it's always a 70 mile an hour zone, whether it's a work zone or not. And I think that just clicked something in my brain to say, well, you don't need to slow down, you know. And I've always operated for the last 15 years, I would say, maybe 20. I stick around 7 to 8 miles an hour over the speed limit, and that's how I lived. Always going 7 to 8 over the speed limit, figuring it's not enough to get me in the 10 plus mile and over speed, like if I was to get a speeding ticket, like that bracket, it would be like a 1 to 10 mile an hour over. And I figured 9 miles over is just too close to pushing it. But 7 or 8, that's like more than 5, but less than 9. So it's a good sweet spot. And it worked for a long time. Matter of fact, it might have continued to work had this state trooper last year not pulled me over. But he pulled me over. Now, I hadn't been pulled over in 10 years. And I've only had one speeding ticket my whole life. And that was when I was 15 years old. 17 years old. I was running late for senior pictures. I even had a radar detector. But I was coming up to the top of a hill, and the officer was coming up to the other side of the hill, so I couldn't see him, but he knew how fast I was going. I was going like 70 and a 55. I was a little bit more reckless back then. But anyway, look, I get it. Driving fast is fun. I've owned 2 BMWs. I'm a motorcycle rider. Don't presently own one. I just sold it last year, but going fast is fun, right? And I think there's a time and a place for that. But on the road, so the state trooper pulled me over, and I remember him. He's like, "Why were you going so fast?" Like a father disappointed in his teenage daughter for dating a bad boy. I don't know. A disappointed father. That's how he sounded. He had the aviators on and the, I don't know, the Mountie hat, whatever you call it. And he saw the tint on my truck. I'm driving an F-150 Lariat at the time. Dream truck, which I no longer have, by the way. I didn't even have it a full year. And anyway, and he's like, I'm going to get my tint meter and I'm going to check this. So he goes to check, and he gives me a warning for speeding and a warning for the tint, which is a miracle because it could have been a lot worse. We'll just put it that way. And after that, I was like, man. See, because I have respect for law enforcement today. I didn't have it 20 years ago when I was a kid. But I have a lot of respect for law enforcement, for the military, for all things, first responders, all that, man. If life were different, I would consider doing a few of those things myself. And I've thought about it, and I've weighed the pros and cons. And right now, today, like, as a 41-year-old dad with a 4-year-old daughter, trying to have another kid, going in the military, or even being a volunteer firefighter, the time commitment is not... I'm choosing not to do it, even though there's a large part of my heart that wants to do it. So, and no, I'm not saying that for clout, so please just take me at my word. All right. Anyway, I started going the speed limit after that. Oh yeah, I can follow rules, baby. Because I'm like, you know what, I think about it? Speed limit. Limit, right? That's that like maximum, that's the ceiling. Don't go any faster than that. That's the maximum. So I'm like, who the hell do I think I am? And so I started going the speed limit, and a bonus, I had adaptive cruise on my vehicle. First vehicle I ever had that had that. So now I can sit in the right, and I can watch all these people going absolutely insane to get to where they need to go. I'm 41. I ain't speeding if I'm running late anymore. I'll get there when I get there, man. And I'm a pretty punctual person. I really try to do my utmost to be polished, to be professional in all that I do, but sometimes you're going to be running late. That's how life is. And I'm going to get there when I get there. I'm not going to put myself at risk. I'm not going to put other people at risk. And because I thought back, like I've worked in trucking and I've been a motorcycle rider, and I thought about both of those things make you acutely aware of road safety. So I'm like, where do I have to go? I don't have to get anywhere. I'll get there when I get there. My point is, though, there are times when you have to get in the left lane to get around somebody. Maybe someone's going under the speed limit or whatever. So the left lane is there to assist you, but it's not to be your resting spot. Your life is not meant to be in overdrive all the time. In the right lane, adaptive cruise on, I can sit and enjoy life. I know I'm not breaking the law. I know I'm probably keeping the motoring public as safe as I possibly can. I'm not saying driving in the left is unsafe. However, if you find yourself there often, you might be speeding a lot. Like right now, I'm in a 70, I'm going 64 because there's a semi in front of me and I'm on adaptive cruise. I don't care, dude. I don't care. Let it go. You don't always have to be the front runner. There's so much winning by attrition in this life, it's not even funny. Yes, there are times when you have to be in front. And I don't care like what line of work you're in or what your role is. or where you're at on your org chart, if you're always in the left, dude, it's exhausting. Who cares? Who cares, dude? You get there when you get there. Some people say that showing up is 90% of success or something like that is just showing up. If you're in the right lane, you're going to show up. You're in the left lane, you might get a ticket, you might get in an accident. You might have more anxiety because you're rushing. You just have to get there. Again, I'm not saying don't use the left, but chill out. I'm going to tell you, I promise you, if you're looking for more peace in your life, get in the right, throw adaptive cruise on, if you have it, follow the letter of the law. It's a good life. I've lived a life where I don't follow the letter of the law, and I'm telling you, this is a good life, man. It's rich. I'm just hanging out. Just hanging out, not a care in the world. Talking to you. Making content. Getting in reps on video. Learning how to articulate my thoughts. Most importantly, feeling free. Just feeling free in a world that wants to take everything from you. Your attention, your intention, your awareness. Talking about trying to distract you from everything that's important. Wow. Man, this is such a good life. Such a good life if we'd slow down to stop and see it. So take some time. Enjoy life in the right lane. Get off your phone. Whatever you want to see, it's probably going to be there when you get back to your phone. Put your life on adaptive cruise. Put your life on airplane mode. Unplug. Spend time with God. Find God. Pursue God. And in the process, you'll pursue others and yourself. I love you. Thanks for listening.